Good evening. Welcome to the September 13th Revere Commission on Disabilities. Please stand to salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'm going to take a roll call of members. As you can see tonight, our moderator and Epstein, Mr. Gravelisi, unfortunately couldn't make it, so I'm just going to pull double duty here tonight. So hopefully I can do as good a job as he usually does. Ralph DeChico, I am present. David Hesse, absent. Paul Mazzoni, absent. Brian Arciero,
present.
Enza Goodwin,
Present.
Michelle DeBellis,
Present.
and Harvey Corin, absent. Okay, item number one on our agenda is just the Commission on Disabilities office hours reminder. As of last Friday, we had started our office hours, which were graciously donated by the Director of Veterans Affairs, Mark Silvestri. We have office hours from 8:30 to 12 o'clock in the Veterans Affairs office in the Legion building downstairs in the back. So if anyone has any questions or concerns, they can feel free to come in, and you could also make an appointment with us if you would like, so that we will have a designated time for you to come in. But you could do that by calling the office, and the phone number again is 781-286-8267. So hopefully this is the start, and we will see if we can expand on that later on down the road, but at least we have some visibility for some of our citizens out there. We're in a place for you to come in to receive some information and have a one-on-one with us. The next item that I have on the agenda, it's something that I had put together in conjunction with the HR, the Commission on Disability. We have scheduled with Rita D'Annunzio to come and provide an overview presentation and training regarding Title I and Title II for our department heads and administration and members of our Commission on Disabilities. Mrs. D'Annunzio, she's the Assistant Director for the Communications and Policy at the Massachusetts Office of Disability in Boston. This is going to take place here in City Hall Council Chambers on Tuesday, September 19th from 10 to 1. The invitations have gone out to all the city department heads and administration that we are just waiting for everybody to reply. And I'd appreciate it if anybody is watching the department heads, if you can't make it, if you could please try and designate somebody from your department to please come to it. It's going to be very beneficial to you. I'm not sure if any members have any questions on this. Please, you can ask. And if any, I'm sure all the commission members have received the email, because I made sure Human Resources did send it out to you. So please welcome, you're welcome to come to that if available. I know the work schedule is tough. These are the hours that they gave us were 10 to 1, and they preferred to come in and do this training. They gave us a few days, and HR did a poll for the departments, and that seemed to be the best day to do it. The next item on the agenda was a walking audits with Julie Demaro, who's the City of Revere Healthy Living Coordinator in Revere on the Move Department. I've actually done one so far with her. It's a walking audit for a parent who has some visually impaired students that attend the Susan B. Anthony, that we wanted to make sure, you know, the safest route that they're taking to school, to see what we can do to make sure that it is safe for them, and make some suggestions, get some suggestions from them, and we offer some suggestions to them also. And we're in the process of putting together a plan to see if we can make some changes for them. But Julie does a tremendous job on doing these walk audits, and I feel honored that she has asked me to go along with her as being part of the Commission on Disabilities, so that we can see what's needed in the city to make sure that we are becoming ADA compliant and helping the residents that need the accessibility for different areas of the city. If anybody has any questions, comments about this, or if there's any areas that you think that need to be addressed, please feel free to let me know and Julie know. Welcome to any comments on this. Seems like we're moving along very quickly tonight, and it seems like I'm the only one that's talking. The next item I have on the agenda is the handicap signs throughout the city. I know this is a big issue. We do get a lot of requests for handicap signs. I tried to put a lot of information on the disabilities page on the city website that basically has the need to know what you would need to do to be able to apply for a handicap sign, because I don't want people to have to fill out all the paperwork and then find out that they don't meet the qualifications and take all that time and do all that. So I tried putting all the information on it under the facts. There's a need to know. There's rules for the accessible space program that need to be followed by our city ordinances. So I tried to do that. I hate having to notify the Traffic Commission when the applications come in that some of the ordinances are not met by some of the applicants. So please feel free to take a look at that website before you go ahead and download the application or fill it out, or please give us a call and ask us if you need any further information on the qualifications in order to get a handicap sign. The other issue that I know about the handicap signs is there are a lot of handicap signs out there that are probably no longer in use, whether it's to people moving or passing on, unfortunately, that we are trying our best to see that we can get those removed, because parking is at a premium in the city. What was supposed to be done by the city ordinances is handicap signs, when you fill out for a handicap sign and you're granted one, after a year that it has been put up and installed, a letter for a renewal of that sign is supposed to go out, and you're supposed to reapply so that we know that you are still in need of that sign, you're still at that residence. But that hasn't been done in years. But as of January 1st, when this commission was reestablished in the applications that have gone out, I am now tracking that, so that will be taking place going forth, and we are going to go back and work on the backlog of handicap signs that are out there. So don't be surprised if you get a letter or somebody comes knocking on your door to see if the sign is still being used, because we are finding some signs that are not being used, and we need to open up those spaces for people to park. And those signs were put up for the residents that home. So if there is a sign there and it wasn't put up for you, and you do meet the requirements, then you could fill out an application, and then that sign would stay there. But I also need the assistance of any of the residents out there that know of any of the handicap signs that are no longer being used for who they were for, to please contact our office via email or dropping us a voicemail message. That we greatly appreciate it. I'm not sure if any members have any comments on this or would like to chime in on that.
Ralph, just one question. So aside from what you just stated, either knocking on a door or sending out a letter, on the letters, are they just going home in English, or if it seems that the resident maybe speaks another language, can it go home in another language?
I know that I have asked I've asked to see if we could get our applications done in another language, so I've been still waiting for a response on that. So that is something that will need to be addressed too. And I believe somebody from Healthy Initiatives or one of the Active Living was working on making sure that when the yearly census go out this year, that there'll be the handicap survey that goes out that used to go out years ago. And that's one thing that I need to make sure that goes in our notes so that I will have it to follow up to see if that survey is being done. Because that will be one of the items that I want on there is, do you have a handicap sign in front of your residence? So that will help us find the handicap signs that are out there. Thank you for that. Anyone else? Now, finally, I can turn it over to one of my other commission members, and I'm going to turn it over to Enza Goodwin, who's going to give us the update of the city events for September.
So for the month of September, we're pretty excited to announce that Special Olympics will be coming back beginning on Saturday, September 30th, and it will run through November 4th. We have 2 events that are going to be taking place at the Paul Revere School. The first event is our Young Athletes Program for ages 2 through 7. And it's a program that each week children are able to participate in and develop skills in different sports. The second program is a soccer program for ages 5 through 15 that will also take place at the Paul Revere School. The first program is from 11 a.m. to 11:45, and the second is 11:45 to 12:45. We've been very fortunate that we have received donations from Sergio and Colleen Reyes from CrossFit. We have received T-shirt donations for our soccer program through Counselor Keefe, and also Counselor Patch has made a monetary donation. We are still in need of donations, so if there's anybody out there watching and would be willing to make a donation, we would appreciate it. We're also still looking for volunteers. Our other program that is still up and running is our weekly Monday night drop and stay play group. It takes place at the Revere Rec for children with special needs and their parents. Cost is only $5, and that includes a snack and a drink, and siblings are welcome to join in. And finally, next week, next Wednesday, September 20th, Revere CPAC will hold its first meeting of the new school year. We are encouraging parents to attend if possible. It is at 6 p.m. at the Revere League for Special Needs. So moving forward, I think the message that we have is to volunteer and get involved in any way possible. And thank you to all that have been doing that.
Anyone have any questions?
I just wanted to add, the program that's going to be run is a wonderful program, and I urge anyone watching, if you can volunteer, it's a wonderful program and you'll get so much back, and the kids really, really benefit from it. So thank you.
Thank you. Enza, I just have one question on the program that's going to be going on at the Paul Revere School. Do we know if the school building is going to, the hours of the school building is going to be open? Is it just going to be open for the indoor, or is it going to be, do we have that down pat yet?
Yes, so as far as I know, the Young Athletes Program will take place inside in the gymnasium. And I believe we have access to the school beginning at 10:30 a.m. The soccer program is slated to take place outside in the field. I believe the school will still be open until 1 p.m., but I think that'll be solely for using the bathroom. Otherwise, kids will be outside as well as parents and volunteers. That's as far as I know, and of course, if it's raining or very cold, then we'll move it inside.
Thank you. And I don't know if you had a chance to go by the field out there. Matarelli Landscaping did an unbelievable job down there, cleaning everything around the fencing, the trees. They installed 2 new benches for the children to sit down. So accolades to Mark Matarelli and his crew. They did an unbelievable job cleaning down there, and they sprayed some new grass. So hopefully we can get it. I hate to say it, people are going to say, no, we don't need it, but a little bit of rain to help that grow. So, but it looks tremendous down there. Anyone else have anything on that?
This sounds like a very, very good program, very wholesome, and I'm actually happy about this. So definitely has my support. This is really good.
And I should have did it at the beginning, but I wanted to welcome Brian back. I'm glad that you're feeling better, and then you're back here with us. You were missed.
Thank you. I appreciate the support from every member on the commission, especially for welcoming me back. It's been a while. Had some health-related issues, but I'm in tip-top shape now, and I'm glad to be back. Thank you.
Okay. Item number 6 is just a communication carryover from last month. It's just basically just a reminder that received communication from a Revere resident that had an outside electric chairlift that he's willing to donate. This is a very expensive piece of equipment, and it's in great working condition, and he still has it installed so that it can be demonstrated and shown that it is in great working condition. If you'd like any further information or are interested, please contact the Disabilities Office at 781-286-8267 and leave us your name and number, and I will put you in contact with the resident. And we also have some pictures that we can show you in case you missed the last meeting, and I can email that to you. Just send us an email at the Disabilities Commission email address, which is disabilities@revere.org, or you can email me directly at rdechico@revere.org and let me know that you're interested. I'd hate to see that somebody that's in need doesn't take advantage of this. It is a great piece of equipment. It's very expensive if you would need to go out and purchase it. As for the next item, item number 7 is old business that we have. It's to revisit on how it's working out with Commission member Harvey Corwin calling in or him calling in after 2 to 3 months, as we agreed upon at our May meeting. I'll open this up to if anybody has any comments or concerns. And
So I know that I haven't spoken to Javi. I wish him well, and I hope he's feeling okay. Has anyone spoken to him? Do we know?
I have tried reaching out several times. I've left messages. I haven't heard back. I left a message that our meeting last month, that if he could call in, or I would call him. Would be the best time to reach him. I didn't hear back last month. I also had contacted him as soon as we got the announcement from the city that we had to change this meeting, and left him a message and for him to please call me back and let me know that he received the message. But I didn't get any response. And I also had contacted him on Monday as a reminder for this meeting tonight, and asked for a call back but did not get one, and then also tried today. But at the voicemail, I'm not sure if it's still the same number because it didn't say anything. I know Mr. Mazzoni had tried reaching out to him maybe a month ago, but wasn't able to talk to him either. But at this point, there hasn't been any communication. Anyone else have any questions on that?
What should our next steps be? I mean, it's a little difficult
what
without
will-
Joe being here.
Yeah, what we're going to do is as we said, we were going to revisit it in 2 to 3 months. So we revisited it now, and we'll just carry it over now till the next month's meeting, and then we'll see what we go from there. And now that we have it, as we revisited it at our meeting, maybe either Javi or somebody from his family will see this and they will reach out to us. Late items. Does anyone have any late items on the commission? I just have one late item that Commission Member Paul Mazzoni wanted me to bring up, and I had sent an email out to the commission members last night. It's concerning a parking mobility app, and what it is it's a way of residents to be able to report handicap signage and parking space abuse. That it's an application that can be downloaded onto your phone. And what he wanted us to try and do as a commission is see by the next meeting if we can all take a look at it, investigate it online. And I gave you all that website, which was www.parkingmobility.com in the email. I also had sent that company an email, like I stated in the email that I sent you, asking for some information from them. And as soon as I do get that, I will share that with you.
Is this an app where you can actually apply for a handicap sign?
No, what this app is, I guess it started as a grassroots campaign to a way for people to report when the handicap spaces are being abused by people who don't have a handicap placard or a handicap plate. So that's what I believe it started. This application was started in 2005. So I'm got to try and get some more information. That's why he wanted us to take it, so we could all take a look at it and then see if we can all find some information on it and put it on the agenda for next month's meeting to see what we can come up with. And hopefully I'll get some information because I emailed it to them. But this way we can all take a look at it and see what we think on it.
Yeah, that sounds like a really good idea because since somewhat of the progression of my disease, I've noticed that it's actually easier to park a little closer to your destination because if I park far away, sometimes I get that drop foot in my leg and it gets a little hard. So I'm going to have to be applying for a handicap license myself soon. And yeah, a lot of people do abuse that, and there are individuals out there that really need it. So yeah.
Yeah, there is a lot of abuse on it, but there's also a lot of people that don't know the exact laws about the handicap placard. One thing is you can't drop somebody off at the doorway if you have a handicap placard and then go park the vehicle. If you're not the person that the placard is for, that placard can get taken away and you can get a fine for it. So the person that placard is for has to be in that vehicle at all times, whether you drop them off at the door and you took the turn to park in say, a market basket. There are a lot of things that some people don't know about. So that's one thing that needs to be put out there. And another piece of information that I wanted to pass that I found out the hard way is that the new parking meters that are installed in Boston, that are the kiosks, like on the block, and that you pay and there's no meters, there's just the spots and the designated spots. For some reason, and I got this, was speaking with Jeff Dugan from the Commission on Disabilities in Boston yesterday. For some reason, there's a lot of problems, and I'm thinking maybe Boston and other communities feel that handicap plates and handicap placards are not exempt from those spots, whereas the regular meters were. So they feel that they can issue tickets. And the ADA's feeling on this is it should still be exempt on it. The government, city agencies' feeling is that it would have had to be written in when the new meters went in, that if you wanted exempt. And on the other side, the ADA is saying when that was written in, it said parking meters. It didn't specifically say that coin-operated parking meters. So there is a lot of there's a lot of back and forth on that now. So I just wanted to let people be aware of it, in case sometimes I'm not sure if they are actually issuing tickets or what's going on that. So that's just a little piece of information that I wanted to pass out. Anyone else have any questions on that, or anybody else have anything that they wanted to add? Okay. And we have an open forum, but I don't think we have any questions from anyone, unless your daughter wants to ask anything. Okay. Okay. Right. That's going to conclude our meeting for September 13th for the Commission on Disabilities. I'm going to ask for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. Our next meeting will be Tuesday, October 10th at 6 p.m. I'd like to wish all our Jewish residents a happy Rosh Hashanah, and have a good night.